Are you homeless? P.A.o. Motivation Channel. How do you feel when you see homeless people on the street? Many of us feel disgusted when we look at them, and others do not even acknowledge their existence as if they're worthless and irrelevant. Some of us even consider them as being nothing but drunks and junkies. We all have different ways of interpreting the lives of these people, but in the end, we all believe that they are less fortunate than ourselves. Some of us already understand that perhaps something in a homeless person's life went wrong and forced them to be where they are. Some people might even say that a homeless person became that way because the pressures of living in society drove them to it. Perhaps they felt misunderstood because they were too open and in touch with their deeper soul essence, when unfortunately our limited society is yet unable to recognize philosophies and life ideas from the nature of a soul perspective. Those people likely ended up lost and feeling out of place, wandering around with a feeling that nothing in their lives really matters in terms of their understanding from a higher level. It can be very difficult to survive in a world where the mundane seems to matter most. It has even been discovered that some of the homeless are rich. So it is not always the case that they are less fortunate than us in a financial sense. I recall a situation that happened some time ago. A homeless man was discovered dead, and they found out he had over $3 million stashed away in his bank. In the end, whether they are rich or poor, these people are still homeless right now. And why? I checked the internet for the definition of the word home, and I found this interesting definition: an environment providing security and happiness. So there are many of us in the world who have a roof over our head, yet we neither feel secure or happy. Do we think we are any more fortunate than the people living on the streets who do not have a building to live in? Are we any more human in essence than those people because we claim to own a few slabs of concrete? Tell me, don't we still have many issues to deal with even though we have a place to live in? Probably even more issues to deal with than those people who do not have the responsibility of maintaining a home establishment. As an example, what is the difference between a homeless person drinking alcohol to compensate for his or her problems and doing the same thing in the comfort of our own dwelling? If you ask me, there is no difference at all. It is only a matter of status. How do we define someone who is homeless? A homeless person is simply a person without a place to live. The number of homeless people is growing rapidly all over the world, and what are we doing about it? Nothing really. It seems to be more important to us to go to the moon or Mars and create bombs worth millions of dollars. What the hell? If we can't solve any of our problems, then let's just blow ourselves away. In terms of the rest of us who consider ourselves fortunate for having a roof over our head, would you ever think of yourself as being homeless? I bet most of you are now saying no, hell no. What are you talking about? I have a home, 2 cars, a home theater, a Nintendo machine or an Xbox, many games. I go out every week and have fun. Let's now consider the definition of the word home once again: an environment providing security and happiness. Now, with that in mind, let me clarify my question again. With all that you have materially and aesthetically in your life today, are you sincerely happy in your life? How many times per day are you aware of a deep sense of loneliness? Do you ever feel an inner emptiness and as though there is something missing in life, yet you do not know what it is? Most of us do feel this way on a regular basis, but are unable to determine what the problem is. We keep buying more and more stuff, we keep ourselves busy eating, drinking, smoking, entertaining and getting wasted on alcohol and drugs in order to avoid dealing with life. We can deny it for as long as we like, but in the end it is us who suffers, and regardless of how we try to suppress things, that feeling that we are lonely, unhappy and that we are missing something will not go away. How many of us have bought stuff, yet in reality we don't really have space for any more stuff in our life? How many of us are bored with life? How many of us feel a prevailing sense of lack of purpose? The reason we came to this plane in the first place was because our soul made the decision to do so. Then we were born. On the other hand, had your soul decided not to come to spend a life in this plane, you would not be here today. So if your soul decided to come here for a purpose and you are not living up to that and carrying out your soul's task, then you will always feel you are missing something in your life. You will always feel that inexplicable void and loneliness deep inside of you. You might not feel truly happy. What is it that prevents us from fulfilling our soul's task? It is quite simply our human limitations, our stubbornness, our fear of experiencing humility, our pride, our ego and our resistance to change that prevents us. When you try to fulfill your life with material things as a substitute for connecting to your soul, this will never substitute for the need to look more deeply into your life and its purpose. Making yourself appear happy on the outside in front of everyone, yet when you are alone you are as miserable as can be, serves no purpose at all. After all, is it just about appearances? Who is getting hurt in reality? Living superficially will never bring harmony into your life for a simple reason: you are contradicting yourself. The funny part here is that many of us are somehow aware that we are living in this way, yet we still keep on doing it. My question is just how long are you prepared to keep it up? Will it be until the day you die and leave this earth life without accomplishing much of what your soul had intended in the first place? That is a waste of a lifetime. My questions to you now are very simple. Are you homeless? Does your soul have a home? Take a deeper look at yourself, into your own being, and take a good look at what you are doing with your life. Is this the life you really want to live and the path you desire to continue walking on? In reality, life is simple, yet on most occasions, we make things more complicated than necessary. From now on, just set yourself free and begin doing things for yourself and for the right reasons and always with a pure intention. Try to discover what is good for your soul and then do it. Most of all, always remember you are never ever alone. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share. P.A.o. Motivation Channel.